You are now tuned in to Apply Where Necessary. I am your host, Quay, and this is the podcast where you take what you like, digest it, apply it to where necessary in your life, and then give the rest to someone else in need.
Pass it on.
Pass it on. I am joined by a very beautiful soul, special guest, the first one of season 2. Yes, we have reached season 2. I told you we were not going to wait too long. We were right into it. And I said there were going to be guests, and this is Sasha, our first guest of this episode, and I think many more, a couple more.
I hope.
So? Yeah, I
Yes.
think so. So we have an affirmation to share to just kick us off. Today's affirmation is by Sasha. Today, I am more than enough. I offer my gifts to the universe. Sasha.
Quay. What that means to me is, well, let's talk about that word enough.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times, people not only put limitations on themselves, but they learn that from others, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you break out of that mindset that you can't be all things for all people, and that you don't measure up to a certain standard or a certain status, or just whatever idea society may have of you in your own mind, know that you are enough, and whatever it is you're striving for, and whatever it is that you are, what you claim, that's enough, as long as it's in a positive direction.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you're being good to yourself, I feel like that's just something that you'll know. And eventually, as time goes on, you'll just start to be more content and comfortable with self,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's enough. Offering your gifts to the universe, you have no choice. You have to. Otherwise, you're not doing what you're blessed here to do.
You're harboring, and we talked
Yeah.
about harboring knowledge, feelings, anything. Harboring anything is all usually detrimental.
Yes, for sure, because it comes from that energy of selfishness. You know,
Mhm.
like, I have this and I don't want to share it. I don't want anyone to have what I have. I don't want anyone to know what I know. But it's inevitable, and that's how society moves forward. You
That's
have
how
to.
we move forward. That's the key. What I got from this affirmation was pretty much exactly what you said. It's something that I've learned to stop and tell myself when I'm like, literally when I'm feeling overwhelmed, or I'm feeling like I'm being rejected of any sort,
Mm-hmm.
like whether I'm not being heard, or even to myself, if I'm not like, Quay, just calm down. Like,
Right.
you need to calm, like, you don't need that, or you don't need to do that, and this is not working out for a reason.
Right.
Like, I just tell myself, okay, like, stop being, how do you call it? The opposite
Not
of selfful,
persistent,
but like, you know, like thinking,
Overthinking,
overdoing, you know,
Yeah.
overdoing in a way. It's like, it's, you know, it's, I can't technically say thinking it like the world revolves around me, or like it's taking things personal,
Yes.
per se.
You get caught in your own stuff.
Caught in my own stuff, and it's not just like, not an egotistic thing, it's also like just, it's a self-sabotaging thing. It's just like, you're caught in all your emotions, whether it's a good or bad, and you're just caught in yourself, and it's just
Right.
like, it's not even that. Like, accept this for what it is. You are enough, whether you do this or you do that.
Exactly.
You get there, you know. And I use this
Exactly.
affirmation throughout every experience that I'm having, where I'm feeling like the complete opposites of the spectrum, like when I'm
Right.
not neutral, when I'm
Right.
like
There's
too
no
much,
balance.
yeah,
Exact- Girl.
big-headed, or even
Just
low,
excluded.
yeah.
Mhm, literally. I'm so glad you said that also, because I feel like people have this habit of like, okay, if I get this thing, if I get this amount of money, if I get that guy, if I get this house, whatever it is, then I'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll be content. And it's like, no, you need to feel that before that.
Mm-hmm.
Because being content is what actually attracts that. You pushing against or for something too much can repel
Yeah.
whatever it is you're trying to get, you know? It can have the opposite effect.
That's very, very true. Very much so.
Gotta have that balance. But it's hard, but it's a journey every day.
And just knowing how she ended this affirmation, I offer my gifts to the universe, as she said, give. Just knowing you do have a gift. Like, I know there's people out there that's still trying to find their purpose and still trying to figure out, what do I have to offer? Because they're so caught up with looking at a figure and comparing themselves to that figure. And just, trying to mold themselves into that rather than accepting themselves for who they are and digging deep within to find their own gifts to give,
and that gift doesn't even have to be like dramatic. Your gift could be nutrition. You could be an amazing chef, like you make these amazing gourmet healthy meals for your family. Like maybe that's your gift. Maybe you need to focus on, I don't know, opening a soup kitchen or opening a facility for people, a restaurant to go to just get great tasting healthy food. Maybe your gift is, I don't know, teaching people how to swim. Maybe you're great at that. Maybe your gift is writing. Maybe your gift is simply just being open to people and being kind. Like all of them, are gifts. Just give what you can.
It's perfect to you.
Right.
It's unique to you.
Right.
Your gift. One of the things that really attracted me to have you on the podcast is you became very vocal in the last month, right? On social media. Because Sasha's really like gentle, pure.
I'm a low-key kind of girl.
Low-key, not in your face, very humble individual. And so you started Confessions
of Confidence. Just like a little, I actually started Confessions I think in December of last year, and I didn't really pick up with it, I would say, until after this year. Just, a lot of life changes and all that, as we all go through, and it was just kind of my outlet, just a space that I needed to explore on my own, apart from the people who knew me from being around, if that makes sense. Just a space for me to talk my shit. I'm a Gemini, I have a lot to say. So
yes, Gemini moon here, so
definitely, because you get it.
Definitely a lot to say. No harboring.
Exactly.
Sometimes, but
just just speaking about my own truth, and whether people resonate with it or not.
And it's beautiful.
It's their choice.
It is. It's really beautiful. Like Tasha and I was having a conversation last week, and she didn't know it was you. I'm like, what? Yeah. She was like,
that's what I want.
Yeah. She didn't even know. She's like, that's Tasha. I'm like, yes.
I love it.
So she'll gotta be on Twitter, because Tasha doesn't even be on Twitter. Social media really barely, and she's like, I'm on Twitter. Like, yes. I was like, literally, like, wake up.
That's
like
awesome.
she would Sasha would Insta story some of her tweets. She does it, and I was just like, I forgot which one. Like I DM'd you about the dream. Like it was the dreaming or waking up feeling.
Yes. That night where the energy was so intense.
Yeah.
That was crazy,
right? And so I just started paying attention even more, and I'm just like, I don't know. Something just told me like, yeah, Sasha. Like, and I asked you about it.
Literally.
See? So we're here, and recently you were talking about self-compassion, and we've been talking about self-fullness on Apply Where Necessary for the whole season 1 for the most part. We're just learning. I'm learning it, and I have this platform so people can like learn and join this journey together.
That's insane.
And self-compassion is a part of self-fullness. So I would like to know from like your words, based on what you've learned and what you've been practicing, what does self-compassion mean, and what does it feel like?
You're like, pass it over. Okay, so I hadn't really used that term per se, self-compassion, until I started reading Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. Read books, kids.
Yes.
And yeah. And it was kind of a term that I believe her name was Dr. Christine Neff came up with just in her studies. She's a professor, and it kind of broke it down like, okay, the self-compassion and what that is, just like wholeness for life, breaks down into 3 different categories. So the first would be self-kindness, which is being and understanding yourself. Knowing that we all have flaws, we all come from different journeys, we all have different experiences, but again, you are enough, you know, be kind to yourself. The second was common humanity, which was just knowing that everybody suffers, everybody has feelings, everybody goes through shit, and that in itself makes you realize that you're not alone. So that common humanity term is just like an interconnectedness with everything and everyone, you know. There's a term called, well, not term, word, sonder, and it kind of just means that like every passerby has a life that's just as complicated or intricate or interesting as yours. And just knowing that, you just have so much more understanding and respect for people and their choices and their journeys and whatever it is, you know. And then the third part was mindfulness, which is a balanced approach to negative emotions, and learning how to be with your emotions without suppressing nor exaggerating them. So just balance, again, everything comes back to balance, being present, being in the moment. So those 3 components, self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness, make up what self-compassion is, which ultimately leads to a more fulfilling and just whole life.
So how are you practicing self-compassion?
I mean, I do it every day in small ways. Whether it be not getting too much in my head about, I don't know, a client saying something rude or having an attitude at work, letting that shit go.
Which is real big for Gemini.
Girl,
especially.
we've learned. It's not cute when she comes out, but she does sometimes.
Lord.
Right. You gotta hold back. No, like, you know, like letting little petty things that won't matter in 5 minutes go. Like something like that. Or like, just when I wake up in the morning, like I always, whenever I find my mind trailing to thoughts of like, you know, just irkiness, I'm annoyed about something that happened yesterday, I'd be like, girl, yesterday, you're still living in yesterday. You know, just reminding myself of like my greatness and how beautiful I feel at this time and how blessed I feel at this time, and like the fact that I'm surrounded by love, by friends, by family, just those little reminders on a daily basis. It takes practice, you know? Practice makes, not perfect, no one's perfect, but practice.
Practice does it.
Is the thing. It's right.
It does it. And it's a lot if you see it that way, but if you're living with intent and you know, like, this is who I am, this is how I want to feel, this is where I'm going, you know, you're certain about those things, it won't feel like, obviously it's practice, but it won't feel like a task of the day. It just feels, it becomes embedded in you. It's you, you know? So just changing your mindset on how to do certain things and in order to live the life that you really want to live is like a really an important thing that everyone needs to adopt in their own way. Whatever it is, just do it.
Totally. And it takes time, you know, everything's a process. You know, everyone comes from different backgrounds, different family circumstances, just everything. Luckily, my parents are like the shit. And they've just always instilled in me just confidence and love and just good things. My mom is super big on like law of attraction and like, you know, just like putting little messages in my ear being like, hey, you don't want that, don't speak it. Or like, hey, let that go.
And it's all your life. You have to see, and that's beautiful.
So
That's really beautiful.
It's
a blessed thing.
I
know.
I feel.
Don't have
I
that.
know, and that's why I feel the need to be so vocal about it, because I'm like, I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people that I know and that I love don't, and I just want to be as kind to them as I possibly can, because that's my gift that I'm offering. That's what I've had, so let me pass it on. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think there is a, how do I say this? Do you think there is a, I don't want to use the word limit, but I want to use the word limit for a lack of a better word, to compassion for others? So, you know, we practice self-compassion, and
Like
we
boundaries?
have it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like boundaries.
I do. I totally believe you can love from afar.
Yeah.
You know, if need be. My last relationship taught me a lot about that. From afar.
Afar, because we don't really always like to do it from afar. Like I'm personally someone who loves a project, who loves a challenging situation, and I hate it, but I think I love exploring it because it's like a challenge, you know? A lot of things to me are easy to grasp. Certain things are easy to grasp. So it's like, yeah, it's easy. Like I know
Right,
it's
you're
not,
like, boom,
yeah.
boom, boom.
Yeah, I'm like, I know what I know, and if I don't do something, it's because I feel like rebelling against it. It's so crazy, but I can say it.
Right.
Like, I know what I know.
Right.
And I have a lot more to learn, and I'm always open. I'm always a student.
Absolutely.
But for some people who are practicing self-compassion or who naturally have it, who also gives a lot of compassion to others, helping them understand boundaries.
Yeah.
To compassion. What's some advice, or just from your experience, how do you set those boundaries?
Yeah, that's a damn. You got me stumped. Shoot.
What happened? Like, talk about your own personal story. Like, what's some situation where you had to
set boundaries? I mean, I'm the type of person where I will always give the benefit of the doubt, just because I believe people are people, and at the end of the day, you just need to be nice, and some people deserve chances, you know? If you see there's growth, just let it be. However, if there are clear red flags, do not avoid them or think that they will get better, because they will not. You need to love yourself first. There's a line in Sex and the City when Samantha's breaking up with, what is his name, Jared, and she goes, I'm just going to say the thing you're not supposed to say. I love you, but I love me more. That's how you need to be. You are enough. You are good with just yourself. If something makes you uncomfortable or makes you feel that it's just not a safe space, your body knows that. And sometimes your body will even tell you, it'll, whether it be hives or a rash or just anything, upset, whatever, it will manifest in some way until you get it. So just get it early on. It's too,
it's easy to say, but it is easy to do.
Truly, yeah. No one knows until you're in it.
Yeah.
You don't. You truly don't. But don't ignore your body, and don't ignore what you feel. You know what you feel. Don't ignore that. Also, just taking things step by step. That's something I'm learning right now, is just not to really rush, be more present, take things day by day. And I think if you do that, there'll just be a lot, the equilibrium of your energy will be a lot better, and better able to detect those things, when you pick up on it. Listening to yourself, listening to your heart. I think that's how you set boundaries, because ultimately the universe won't even allow that shit to fly with you, There are just so many things that I've just noticed, as I've elevated with just my spirituality and just who I am and how I feel about myself. Things don't even come to me. And that, it's I'm being protected energetically. You know what I mean?
And it's real. It's just real. I know there's some people out there who really don't believe what we're saying, and it's really simple. It's out there. Everyone can practice it. Everyone can feel it and get on this frequency. But some people, there's really a lot of very pessimistic people, and not always by choice. It's by training, by conditioning, by being raised.
100%, yeah.
And it sucks because they're just like, what? Like, no, that's not. Things happen. You know, things happen.
Absolutely.
They happen, but they always will happen. It's just like, how do you see these things that's happening? Do you see every problem that something that's already solved, or do you see it like, dang, I gotta, you know?
Right. And also know that now you have choices.
You have choices.
You don't have to choose that same thing over and over again. You don't.
You don't even have to choose the bad situations. We don't. And I've always known this because I grew up religious, and religion teaches us this in a way. I'm more spiritual now. I believe in God. God is a higher power. But I've always kind of happened. I've, fallen off a little bit. As we all are humans. I call it, human moments. No one's, I'm sure a lot of people have mastered this of like complete peace and like knowing and certainty.
I don't think you ever mastered that.
You don't think no one's out there has mastered that?
No. People are people.
I feel like it's people who choose to isolate themselves.
That's it. When they're away from other people. That's how you would get there. That's the only way. Oh my goodness.
Yo, imagine. I can't even imagine complete isolation. Like, I love to be by myself. I love my solitude.
Right.
Complete isolation.
No. I need people.
A few.
I need
a few
at least
people.
to look at.
Yeah.
Something.
Just that one. Okay.
Literally something. Anything.
Yeah, I can't do complete isolation.
Right.
But it's all accessible, and I've grown deeper into it this past year. I don't know, 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a significant number for me right now.
The 8th month of the year. 8.
Yes. New beginnings.
New beginnings. That's what it is for you right now.
Yes.
Okay.
New beginnings.
We like it. We like the newness.
Right.
We do.
Always new. You're new every day.
Every day.
Every single day. You get to pick who you want to be.
Please wake up on the right side of the bed.
Yeah.
And
even if
you
don't,
can choose the right side.
Yes. Exactly. Listen to this woman right here.
Yes. It's coming a long way. Like, still have my marks and stuff to like clean up, but it feels so good to like have a certain mindset and just to be selfful, to practice self-compassion, and like literally just give it to other people.
Right. You have to just share it, because like when you were younger, like, don't do anything you wouldn't want somebody else to do to you. The same shit applies as an adult.
Yeah.
Just don't treat people the way that you don't want to be treated. It's simple. It's simple.
Will our world ever be like that completely?
Our world will be.
Okay.
And that's not to be selfish, just
Self-love.
you have to start somewhere, and it will spread out as it always does.
Yeah, we'll get there. We're there, but more and more.
We're getting
people,
there. Yeah,
we'll get there.
There's a huge awakening happening right now, though. I really feel like a lot of people who didn't get it before, if you don't get it now, like, you can get left behind, because you're literally choosing now to just not get it.
It's rejecting what's naturally happening.
Right.
It's naturally happening.
Right.
It's right there. It's present. It's amongst us.
Right. You have to adapt somehow. And it's tough, but it will only make you better. I really believe that. Just a little bit, day by day, you know?
Adapting is a very big word.
Yeah.
Adapting, because some people are afraid of change. So like I said, they will reject it. Because I can say this because I've experienced it before. Like, I used to hate change. And I was so young, and I even like, I didn't really know what change was. Like, I just wanted to do stuff the way I wanted. Really? You crave change?
I don't know.
Really? Like, I think it was conditional for me. Like, I think I hated change when I wasn't the one making the change.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because then you're just along for the ride. You're like, I didn't actually want to come here.
Yeah, and I was just like, I just wanted to control things. And I just wanted it to go the way I wanted it, when I wanted it. And, I still have some of those traits, but not in a self-sabotaging way,
Yeah.
where I don't get to grow, or a way where it's allowing,
don't get to grow.
not allowing someone else to grow because I'm like in the picture and I'm like, no, you know. So I've grown tremendously in that area, but I'm aware of like you having to adapt,
Exactly.
like moving and just everything. You just have to adapt to like the current times. Like every day you wake up, you're new. You've
Right.
adapted to something new. You learned something new the previous day,
Right.
and you're adapting to that. Oh my God! Let's hope this is still recording.
Oh, yeah.
I think it
I hope
is.
so.
I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. Yes.
Amazing.
Look at God. Hope y'all can
Look
hear
at
this.
adapting.
Is there anything else you want to talk about within self-compassion, or what else can we touch for the people for season 2 opening? We're here. We got time.
Let's see. Just,
What are some new things you've learned this week so far?
oh my God, I was literally just about to say, dude, like some things that I'm learning. Intro. Why are you in my head? I love it. Oh man. Okay. Some things that I've been learning lately. I've learned to not be so like judgmental. That was a big, I'm a judgy person, and I'm only recently like learning that about myself. Not in a way where like I will like actively point them out within someone, or like point things out, whatever it might be. But they're just, I have also a very rigid way of just doing things and thinking things, you know what I mean? Like my mother, she's very prim proper, like she's
a lady.
She's a lady.
She's a lady.
So I don't ever want to not be a lady. You know? I'm like, it took me a while to get
A lady
get a little flowy, you know, like some, I don't know, some like groove in my step or some shit. Just learning to go with the flow. That's a really big thing for me right now. Learning to go with the flow. Not be so rigid, not be so hard on myself, not be so fixed, you know? Adapting. Things are always changing, yeah.
Always changing. It should be.
Yeah. True that.
Oh, being stagnant is scary.
It sucks.
Being still within, as in like your peace remaining still, like your certainty being still, that's good. But like still in the physical, like no growth, that's scary. You should be scared of that. Like I don't get how people aren't scared. Like how you can go,
because you can get real comfortable in that space. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's, and like this is like a personal, like personally, I have some family members that, and I knew this at a young age. I've seen this early. You know, you have successful family members, and then you have the ones that you're probably a little more closer to, and those, some of mine that I was like closer to, who I've seen more on a daily basis. There was I've seen a lot of stillness.
Yeah.
As in, like, you know, they aged, but other accomplishments didn't come.
Yeah.
Like,
same.
and I was just like, this is interesting. Like, you know, I was able to see it, and then I was able to see, you know, through television and like whatever else we had, or just other people that, you know, ascension. And I was just like, this is what I want.
Right.
And so I chose at a really early age, because I was always a really observant person. Yeah. And sometimes too observant. Like I learned things I didn't need to know too early, because I was just nosy. I just want to know. I'm listening. Like, right. The kid that my mom said, stay out of girl folks' business. But I was doing it really subtly. And I picked up on the thing. And I just knew, I was like, I love them, I love y'all, but this isn't for me.
It's not what I want.
It's not what I want.
Yeah.
And you know, I go back and it's still the same thing for some of them. And it's like, that's scary. And you know, I tried to preach, lecture, advise.
People
boundaries.
do what they want to
They would do what they want to do.
Yes.
You have to meet, this is the biggest quote of this week, you have to meet people at their level. You can advise, you know, but you keep doing it and saying it, nothing. That's, what is that? Doing the same thing over.
Talking to deaf ears.
Insanity. You have to like give people the tools to succeed, and if they pick them up and use them, that's on them. And if they leave it there year after year, that's also on them.
Absolutely. And don't let them drag you down also, because I have that same sort of situation with my family, and I've noticed, like, I've had to distance myself, you know, but the ones who do have that mindset they're always so bitter about the other ones. And I'm like,
gossiping.
Oh,
Oh my
the worst.
god. I'm like, really?
like, you have nothing better to do but like sit here and complain about the person who like put in the work or did the thing. I don't.
It's crazy. Kill the gossip. That's something
Yeah.
I'm also learning too. Because we have group chats and we, spreading tea in the group chats or whatever.
I get my tea from Twitter.
Yes. This was, it's not even collective tea. It's like mainstream tea, like celebrities or like just happenings. And it's just some shit that's like, this did not make me no money.
Right? Why do we care?
This
like didn't teach me anything.
Things like that,
Right.
blocking them out of your view.
Mm-hmm.
Deleting all those things that does not serve you. That was part of my affirmation today. I always forget about that affirmation. But like, I'm removing myself from the things that no longer serve or benefit me. And that's okay. It's not a selfish thing, but like having to learn that like has been a journey.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely hard, but I think through it, when you remove yourself from the things that don't serve you, you like bring yourself closer to the things that you actually need and that are actually good for you, you know? So you're doing yourself a service by moving away from those things because you're just moving more forward to what you really need and deserve. Like you deserve.
You deserve.
Don't block your blessings.
Come on. Get into this luxury life. However you create it.
Yes.
Your lux.
Yes. Your blessings, your happiness, your love, light.
Your vision.
It's your vision.
Design your future.
Yes. you might get it.
Please.
Like, no.
Please. And it's just things you have to keep reminding yourself. Because we say this, but every day we still are practicing it. We're still figuring out what that looks like. We're still adapting to whatever we learned yesterday and applying it to our vision. Taking out what doesn't need to be there anymore.
Every day. It's not always good, but at every point. Oh my god, another Sex and the City bit. So Carrie had just gotten her apartment done, and they were like just all sitting together, the four girls, and Samantha was having like guy trouble, and she asked the group, how often do you feel happy in your relationships? And I believe it's Charlotte. She goes, every day. And they're all shocked. They're like, you feel happy every day? And she's like, not all day, every day, but every day. That's how I feel about life. Like, life will never be perfect or exactly the way you want it to be all day, every day. That's like asinine. That doesn't exist. But the point is to get to a point where every day you're grateful, you're thankful, you recognize what it is that you do have. You're no longer focusing on lack.
Yeah.
It's an abundance mindset. Every day there's something to be thankful for. You woke up. My mom says all the time, if you woke up this morning, it can only get better from there. Like,
literally.
that's it.
Find it every day. Find it every day. It's there. No matter how, in your perspective, shitty of a day you had, there was something amazing.
There's something
you
can
had
find.
to eat a good lunch.
Right.
Like, you had to, if I'm having a shitty day,
I wasn't even thinking of that.
I'm gonna eat something good. I'm gonna eat something that's gonna make me feel good.
You ate. Some people did not eat anything. For weeks. So that in itself, if you have to get a journal, write it down. It could be one thing every day, but you putting that on real paper, like you're putting that out into the universe. You're spreading that energy. You are.
Yep. Every day. Find the happiness. Consistency. What else? What's another lesson this week that you learned so far? It's only Wednesday, but...
Yes. Oh, another lesson. I'm reading this other book called... something to do with the mind. I think it was written in 2005, but it's about how the world is like moving from a left brain dominant society to a right brain dominant society. So back in the day, it was all about like, if you were a great lawyer, if you were great in the office, if you were, if you had like degrees out the wazoo, you know what I mean? Like that equated to success. But now you have to offer some sort of creative skill, some sort of emotional intelligence to the table, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot more altruistic, I feel like, direction of the world that it's going in. You have to like, just know yourself and know that spiritual side, that artistic side, that creative side, and that will actually help you get further, because people just naturally respond to emotion.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing that they teach us at my job as well, is that if you are yourself, you use whatever personal gifts that you have here. We don't want cookie cutter people. We don't want everybody to be the same. There is no protocol. Like, you are you. Use what you have, you know? And that's what I'm learning in this book now. It's like everyone's different. Everyone has a specific thing, you know? Even if it falls in the same category. But just using that part of your brain and, like, tapping into those gifts, you know?
Yeah, that goes right back into your purpose. Because we said
Exactly.
your purpose are many different things, but it's usually falls into those with the left brain skill?
I believe right brain. So
Right
left brain
brain.
is
So
more
right brain.
like analytical.
Okay,
like
so
just,
the right brain is
Yeah.
like emotions,
Right.
skill, like something that usually comes natural to
right,
you, like
from within, yeah.
instead of learned, you know, in the
Right.
classroom with 30 other people. Like, it's just,
Exactly.
you know, and obviously you
It's
sharpen
unique.
it up, but
Yeah.
it's in there, it's in you.
It's unique to you.
I love that.
Yeah.
That makes all the sense. We're all,
Right?
most of us are freelancers.
That's what I'm
and, you
saying.
know,
Like, it really is. We're here.
yeah.
We're here.
I love that. Okay, what is it called?
Shoot. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Okay.
Actually, I have it. I totally forgot. I totally brought it. I actually found this. Okay, so the other day, I was out for a jog, and there were just some books. You know, like, people put out their books or whatever. And I found this, and it was like a whole bin full of free books, and I love that shit. A Whole New Mind is what it's called. It's been pretty good so far. I'm really into it.
Ooh. It's in great condition too.
I know. That makes me so happy when I find books
I'm
on
gonna
the
have to
street.
read this.
Yes, I will pass it along
Read.
when I'm done.
Read. We must read.
Yes, and this is Staring Greatly by Brene Brown.
Renee.
Really good. She has a special on Netflix as well, guys.
And you can
She's
YouTube her
really
too. She has. Really,
Yes.
I think the first time I heard her speak was one of her TED talks. I don't know if she did anymore.
I think it's the yeah. She
Yeah.
did a few. I think the one on Netflix is one of her TED Talks in Austin, I
Okay.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah, she's very powerful. She's
So
a great
powerful.
orator.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, self-compassion.
Self-compassion.
Self-compassion and giving whatever you are and feeling right back to others.
Yes, because you'll always get it back
Always.
tenfold.
Always. Don't even expect. I always say kill expectations, kill expectations,
Yes.
kill expectations.
Give without. Oh, there's a quote that I heard a while ago. I think it said, "Give without expecting, and receive without." No, I fucked it up. Give without remembering, receive without expecting, or something like that.
That makes sense.
Yes.
That makes sense. Well, thank you for being here and sharing your
Thank
energy
you.
and your voice.
This is really fun.
I
Thank
love
you
it.
for having me be a part of it.
Thank you.
First podcast ever.
Like that.
Oh my
Well, we're
gosh.
definitely gonna hear more from you. She'll be back. She'll be back.
I'll be back.
For sure. I love you guys. Remember, practice self-compassion. The exercise I think would help all of us with practicing self-compassion is literally what she mentioned earlier. It's like a journal. Grabbing your journal. Obviously saying the affirmation, I am enough, I am enough, I am enough. I give my gifts to the universe. But doing the extra mile is journaling every day. And I still am practicing journaling. I fall short some days. Yeah,
Same girl.
fall short lots of days, but I understand the importance of it, and I know how helpful it can be to this, which is the most important thing. Control your mind, change your mind, change your life.
Change your mind, change your life. Period.
Period.
That's
So
period.
that's the exercise leading up to next Wednesday is journaling every day about how you're feeling and finding something throughout that day that you're grateful for or what made you happy.
Great. Nice.
Until next time.
Bye.
Love you.